Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining today. It's going to be a lower body focus. It's Tuesday, August 4th. We're going to do some myofascial release, stretch, and activation. And we need our roller, a band if you have one, just a little mini band, a lacrosse ball, and a 5-inch trigger point ball, if you have all that. Okay. So let's go ahead and start standing up, and we'll start from the bottom up with our little lacrosse ball. If you don't have a lacrosse ball, you can use your bigger ball. Okay, so we'll start with the right foot, and we'll just start rolling the bottom of the foot. And let's just give it a good roll first and kind of wake it up. And we remember too, all through the class, take those deep breaths. Inhaling laterally into your rib cage and exhaling and drawing that belly button in towards the spine. So let's find a nice tight spot and then press down on it and open your toes and squeeze them, open and close. So that's going to really help stretch the muscles in the feet and in the toes and help with any stiffness there. And this could be some balancing too, because like if you're standing on one foot kind of, right? So if you need to stand against where you need to, if you want to hold onto something or a wall, that's fine. It's not really intended to be a balance exercise, but it is. Okay, let's roll it out again. And then go to the inside. So go between, like on the inside arch, kind of turn your foot in between the big toe, knuckle, and the heel. And find another tight spot there. Press down onto it. And open and close your toes. Squeeze and open. You can go slow too. You can really open them and really squeeze them. Good. Now we're going to drop the heel down and put the ball underneath the ball of the foot and drop the big toe down to the floor and then drop the pinky toe down to the floor. So this is activating the foot in the side-to-side motion and creating some space there if it's too tight. And just noticing, can you do this? Can you get your big toe down? Can you get your pinky toe down? Okay, now we're going to stretch the front of the foot. So tuck it under. This is going to help stretch the foot and going up into the front of the calf. So if you can't do this, if you're only right here, then it's too tight in the front as well. Okay. And then we'll go to the other side. So let's roll the left foot out.
Leah, would you ask everybody to hit the mute, because I keep seeing other people. Thank you.
Yes. Can everybody hit mute, please? If you haven't. Everybody muted? Okay. Is that better? Okay. Oh, there's my foot. There we go. That's why this is not a public class, because there's too much that goes on here to be public. Gotta stay in the private, unlisted class. Okay, find your tightest spot, open and close your toes. So even like if you were sitting on your couch at night, this is a great thing to do. Like, or just, at your desk. There's so many reflex points on the bottom of the feet, and you don't even have to know what they are. But if you find a tight one, it's worth releasing. Okay, let's roll it up and down again. And we'll go to the inner arch. Find that tight spot. For me, it's like right more underneath the knuckle. And open and close the toes. Squeeze and open. So you kind of have your foot tilted in a little bit. Open and squeeze. Okay, then we're gonna put the heel down. And so the ball is underneath the ball of the foot and roll pinky toe, big toe. So you can have your abs drawn in, right, for balance here if you feel like you're out of balance. Keeping your sternum up, keeping your shoulders back. Even like if you were having a hard time with your balance, your neck could get tight because it would try to help you. So being aware of what else is going on in your body as you're moving your foot side to side. Is your arch cramping? Notice what's going on. And then we're going to stretch the front of the left foot. Give it a good stretch. So this is a great thing to work on if you're like just here. You want to see how much more you can get the flexibility because it goes all the way up. It goes all the way up that leg, all the way up into your hip flexor and then your psoas and your chest and your neck. Okay, good job. Let's bring the feet together, shoulder width apart, and just keep the pressure. Let's flex our toes up, straight up. So there's pressure underneath the big toe. Now let's press the heels up and the toes will come down and then come back up and bring the toes up. So we're going to keep pressure underneath that big toe. Press, come back to the heels, lift the toes up, press the heels up, roll back to the heels, lift the toes, press the heels, roll back, lift the toes, press the heels, exhale up, abs drawn in. Toes up, one more time, press, and toes. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and roll the right foot around, right foot connected to the hip. And the other side. And put your hands on your hips, move your hips around. So this may seem easy to you, but for some people, this might be hard, creating this motion, pushing back and around. It seems easy to me because like I have like swivel hips, like I was born with them the other way. I came out doing this, pelvic tilting around town. I was born this way, baby. Okay, let's give it a good, actually we're gonna do that in a minute. So let's come on down to the ground and we're gonna do some more release on the bottom of the leg. So we can actually start with this ball if you want. It's pretty good and hard. So let's go ahead and get it. Actually, we'll line our left side and put it on the side of the calf so that you're rolling like this. Let's try and really pinpoint some spots. So I have this ball like right below my left knee, like on the muscle there that feels tight. It's either the lateral gastrocnemius or the peroneus. They're both right next to each other. But find that tight spot and push down on it. Good. And then point and flex your foot. And like you'll feel it tightening as you're pointing more than when you're flexing. So it's actually the pointing that's creating the stretch there. So we're releasing the tension. Let's go up and down on it. And side to side. Okay, good. So now sit up and let's put that ball down low, down towards the ankle, that little ball. Let's see if we can find something. I find it like on the outside, like more, not so much on the inside of my leg, but more on the outside. I'm finding it tight there. But see where it's tight on you. And then put your other leg on top. So it's a lot harder than the roller or the ball, with this little ball. But you can do If you don't have a lacrosse ball, you can surely use one of the others. But I've been exploring at home, finding this little ball. Gets it. I've been doing a lot of myofascial release at home lately. At night with my daughter, we're having a myofascial release party. We like to have fun, so like, let's have some fun. So we put a movie on and do myofascial release together. Circle your foot around. And the other way. It's just, you know, like I said, it's fun to have fun, but you have to know how. So if you make everything fun, then you have a fun life. And if you don't, then there you go. Okay, so let's go ahead and go up a little higher now. See if you find anything else in the back of that calf. Okay, so I found something like on the back, on the side again, up right a couple inches below the knee. I'm gonna go right there, point and flex my foot. Keep breathing, sitting up straight. Even though your hands are here, it doesn't mean you're smashing your body back into your wrists. You can use your abs and sit up straight. Keep your sternum up, keep your shoulders down, keep breathing. Circle your foot around and the other way. So this is a great thing to do, is to really explore your lower legs, because the lower leg tension has a lot to do with what's going on in the rest of the body. So getting some flex movement there is important, and sometimes you don't even know it's tight. Okay, that's good. So now we're going to do the other side. We'll start going to the right side on the outside, and let's see, I'm going to find kind of right below the knee on the outside. You can even put your feet together to do it. Yeah, right there. Found it. Point and flex that bottom foot. Again, when you point, that's when you're going to feel more pressure. Because in this instance, it's the pointing that's stretching the peroneus. It's the peroneus and the lateral gastrocnemius. So I think this point here is more the peroneus. Since I can't really see your leg, but I'm just telling you, they're right next to each other. But the lateral gastrocnemius is more on the lateral outside of the calf when you're sitting up. Let's go up and down on it, and side to side. Ooh, yeah. Okay, now we're going to sit up and put this ball lower down on the leg, somewhere down, closer to the heel. Find a spot there. There's almost always one there. Put your other leg on top. I'm sure you'll find one. If you don't, that's great, but you probably will. Point and flex your bottom foot. Keep sitting up straight. Keep your abs engaged. Keep breathing. Circle your foot around. The other way. And then we're going to go up a little bit more onto the calf. A couple inches below the knee usually, then you'll get onto that lateral gastrocnemius. So it's not like the middle of the calf so much. It's more to the outside. How do you find a spot there? Or just find a spot, any spot. Any spot that tight needs to be released. If you went through your whole body, you'd find a lot of them. Okay, put your other leg on top. Sitting up straight, point and flex. So we're releasing these tight areas. And next, we're going to stand up and then we're going to do some stretching. So that's why I wanted to release it first before we did that. Circle your foot around and the other way. Okay, good. Okay, so now let's stand up. And we'll start with the right foot, pressing back. And we're gonna squeeze, let's see. So like try and push your hip flexor so it's straight here. And your heels straight back, your toes are forward. So you can get some stretch in the back of the calf. And if you squeeze your glute, you're gonna find even more stretch. Nice. Squeeze that glute. Let's do some little pulses. Squeeze in, keep the glute tight. We'll do 10. Keep that heel down. Okay, then put the left leg back and squeeze the left glute. And toes are forward. And push forward into the stretch. And do some little pulses. Squeezing that left glute. Stretching the back of the calf. Okay, good. All right, so come on back down again. Good job. So let's go ahead and get our ball, and we'll start on our left side. And we're gonna go to the gluteus medius. So it's right in the hip area. We're gonna do the gluteus medius. We're gonna do the gluteus minimus, which is right in front of that. And then we're gonna go all the way around to the TFL. So let's start right there in the gluteus medius. Bring the bottom knee up to the top knee and exhale up. So you know there's different areas of your body that can be tight and weak, which is a bummer. It's like the least favorite combination. But a lot of times the gluteus medius and maximus are not strong, but they're tight. So this is going to release the tension, so that when we go to activate it and work it, it's going to be ready. Let's go up and down, and side to side. And now we're going to roll forward to the gluteus minimus. So minimus is not the TFL, so it's between the medius and the TFL. So if you're on your gluteus medius, you just roll forward a tiny bit. You're going to find another spot. It's kind of right on the outside. So let's hold that there now. And you might have even mistaken it for your medius before. So bring your bottom knee up to the top knee. Keep your sternum up. Keep your abs engaged. Keep your shoulders down. Exhale up. One more. And go up and down. And side to side. Woo, that one's tight on me. Okay, straighten out that left leg and roll around to the TFL now. So the bottom leg is straight, going straight down from your hip. And your front foot is forward. So the ball is below, right in that hip crease, right below the hip bone. And we're going to squeeze and release the glute. Squeeze that glute and release it. Squeeze and release. Abs are drawing in. Squeeze and release. Go up and down. And side to side. Okay, and come on off. Good job. Okay, let's go to the other side. Right gluteus medius. So your left knee is in alignment with your left hip and your left shoulder. Your abs are drawn in. You're keeping your sternum up, so we're not like falling into our neck. And you're going to exhale as the bottom knee comes up to the top knee. Exhaling up. Using your breath, so exhale all the way up. Inhale all the way down. One more time. And then we'll go up and down on it. Smash it in. Woo! It's amazing how tight that can get. You don't even know. Side to side. Then we're going to go right to the front of that, to the gluteus minimus. The minimus and the TFL, bottom knee up to the top knee, are like tight cousins. They're super tight. And they like to work together as a team to be super tight. So I'm going to break up their little gang, tight gang. Give them a good stretching. Okay. Let's go up and down, smash it. Side to side. Smash, smash, smash. And straighten out that right leg and roll around to the TFL. The left leg in front. And squeeze and release that right glute. So you're doing a pelvic tilt into the ball. Squeeze that right glute and release. Exhale into it. And go up and down. Smash it in. Smash, smash, smash. And side to side. And release. And go ahead and set your ball to the side for a second. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get our roller. Put it behind your back. And put your hands behind your head. And let's go ahead and tuck our chin in so the back of our neck is long. And then we're going to exhale our breath out so these lower ribs seem to sink down towards the hips. So you're really drawing the belly button in towards the spine, and then lower ribs are sinking down instead of flaring out. So now we're going to hold that contraction as we inhale back and let the elbows come out to the side, and then exhale forward. Inhale back. Keep that connection if you can, the lower ribs towards the hips, and exhale forward. So this is just something to think about, because if you're not really thinking about what you're doing here, your lower back can be really arching and your ribs can be really flaring. So then you're not really getting as much thoracic spine mobilization. So that's why you want to think about those connections of the lower ribs down and the lower back not arching, to try and find space for this area that gets so tight and it doesn't want to release. It's not used to moving, so other areas compensate for it. Okay, now let's just go side to side. Just roll side to side, like into the lats. And then let's roll all the way over to the right side. And let's find that tight lat. And you can drop your right elbow down to the ground and your knees are bent. Okay, and your head is resting in your hands, so let's try not to strain our neck. So now take a deep breath, inhale laterally into the rib cage. And exhale, bring the left elbow down to the floor. And then inhale and come back. And exhale, come forward. So now we're stretching through the lat. We're digging in with that myofascial release. We're stretching through the thoracic spine. And the hips are involved here. So we just release those hips. So this is also, the hip connects with the lat. So it's important to work these two areas together. And that's why we work the lats on lower body day, because there's a fascia connection there. So we're exhaling back. See how far you can get back. And inhaling down. One more time. Okay, good. So now let's roll over to the other side. So now we're on our left lat. so you can see me from the back. Oh yeah, find that tight spot. Take a deep breath. And we're gonna exhale back and inhale all the way forward. Inhaling, the elbow comes down to the floor, and exhale. See how much you can stretch back through the thoracic spine, so it's that rib cage area. Inhaling down. And you're gonna feel like when you're coming forward, that pec minor is getting a little smashing, which is great, because it needs it. It needs to get smashed and released. Nice, working through that thoracic spine, breathing, using your breath the whole way, exhaling all the way back, inhaling all the way down toward the floor. One more time. And back onto your back again. And lift the hips off the ground and give it just a little rolling up and down the thoracic spine. Okay, and drop your hips down and sit up. Good job. Okay, so let's keep our roller, and we're going to go to our right rectus femoris. So if you start on your side here, if you're directly on your side, you're on your IT band, which we're not going to release that because it's a tendon that's supposed to stay tight. And the way that if you have IT band issues, it's released to the TFL. So we're going to roll forward onto the rectus femoris that comes straight down from the TFL to the knee. And this is the only muscle that connects the hip to the knee in the front here. So it gets tight, we're going to release it. So find your tightest spot on that line. So wherever that is, mine's right there. I'm going to hold it there. And then I'm going to, if you can, bend the bottom knee so the heel comes in towards the glute. Exhale as it comes in. So creating the motion helps to release the tension in the fascia more. It's like a pin and stretch. It just like helps it dig in to release the muscle spindles. Okay, now we're going to roll side to side, smashing, and up and down. And then come to your hands and knees. And we'll push that roller out so it's just in front of the right knee. And the left knee is forward. So we're going to roll the front of the right leg between the hip and the knee. And find your tightest spot. And then flex your right foot and bring your head down so your neck is relaxed. And shoulders down too. And then draw your abs in and exhale as the heel comes in towards the glute. So you're just kind of pumping it. Keeping the hip down. Don't let the hip rise up as the heel's coming in. This is the motion we're creating so that we can have more pressure into the fascia. Breathing, exhaling all the way in. Inhaling down. Using your breath as a rhythm for release. That way you don't end up holding your breath and wondering why you're so tense. So the more you use your breath, the more the central nervous system will relax. And the deeper you can go into releasing the tension in your body. So let's hold the heel in now and move it side to side. So here's some more smashing. Side to side. And also checking your internal and external rotation. Then keeping your abs drawn in and your shoulders down. We're going to bring the heel down and around in a circle. And then the other way. And then release. Okay, good. And we'll go to the other side, to the left side. So we'll start with the rectus femoris on the left. Again, always lining yourself up so that you're not tensing your neck, right? So we're not like this. Go, ah. So you want to keep your abs drawn in so that you can keep your sternum up and your shoulders down. And we're going to roll. We're going to roll forward a little bit to the rectus femoris, so it's in line with the TFL. Roll towards your knee. Just up and down there and see what's going on. Find the tightest spot. So of course, this area is so tight, you're going to find a lot of spots. And later on today, this evening, when you're on the floor with your roller, you can check those other spots out, right? Okay, bring your left heel in towards your glute. Exhale as it comes in. You kind of get addicted to myofascial release. I'm just going to keep saying that because I only think about what I want to, want to happen. If you get addicted, because it feels so good when you're done, and your body can move so much better, and all the things you want to accomplish are possible in your body because you're creating space for new things to happen. But it has to be consistent practice. That's why you can watch all the YouTube videos anytime you want and go back in time and go, oh, I remember that one from April. You go side to side and up and down, and then come to your hands and knees. And if you don't have the videos, like if you don't have the connections, what I think I've sent to everybody, you don't have the links, text me and I'll send them to you again. You come down to your forearms and roll the whole front of the left leg. Find your tightest spot, drop your head down, shoulders down, abs engaged, flex your left foot, bring your heel in towards the glute as you exhale. Use your breath, exhaling as the heel's coming in. Then hold the heel in and move it side to side. And then down and around. And the other way. And release. Okay, good job. All right. So let's go ahead and get the ball again. And we're going to lie on our right side, and we're going to put it on the inside of the left knee. So we're going to be on the adductor now. So find that tight spot. So it's right above the knee on the inside. And we're going to bring the left heel up and down, exhaling up. So this is the inner thigh adductor that gets tight. We're going to keep the abs drawn in, exhaling up. Nice and slow. Go side to side. Up and down. And then we're going to roll to the top of the leg and then like the groin area. So get that ball. We'll bring it all the way up and see if you can find that tightest spot up there in the pectineus. Okay, so find that tight spot at the top of the inner thigh. And then we're going to squeeze the glute and release. So we're kind of squeezing it to put like pressure down into that. It's like the groin, but it's, you'll find it. I don't know anyone that's not tight there. And you can always find a tight spot on those adductors. Exhaling into that squeeze. 2 more times. Squeeze it into the ball. One more. And we'll go side to side and up and down. Okay, then sit up and we'll put the ball right behind the left leg and the left hamstring. And we're going to roll. Let's get it kind of in the middle there. Put the other leg on top. And let's see if we can not do this. Sit as straight as you can. And flex and point that left foot. So when you're flexing, you're going to feel more stretch in the hamstring. And now that there's pressure into the ball, there's less space there. So it's going to help release that tension in the fascia by pointing and flexing. And circle your foot around and the other way. Okay, good. And then release. Okay, so now let's go to the right leg, and we're going to put the ball on the inside of the right knee, lying on your left side. So you're just going to find that tight spot on the adductor by the knee. Kind of dig in there. Bring the heel up and down. Exhaling up. Abs drawn in. It's like internal rotation with the right knee. The knee goes down to the floor as the heel comes up. Just smashing into that line of fascia. Go side to side. And up and down. Now we're going to like take a journey up to the top of the adductor. Right to the top, and you'll find it in your that tight spot. We're going to squeeze and release the glutes, put more pressure into that top adductor, inner thigh. Squeeze it and release it. Pelvic tilt into that ball. Pelvic tilt. Squeeze those glutes. One more time. And then go side to side. Smash it in. Up and down. Smash, smash. And then release and go ahead and lie on your back. Set the ball to the side. Bring your feet outside of your hips so that your feet are wider than your hips. And we're going to drop the right knee down to the floor and the left knee comes out to the side. And then we're going to inhale up and exhale, bring the right knee down to the floor and the left knee comes to the center. So you just kind of side to side, left knee drops outside and the right knee goes inside. Then inhale up and exhale over to the other side. It's kind of warming up the hip flexor, the TFL, the adductors, stretching side to side. Inhale up, exhale over. Exhaling all the way down. Inhaling up. Exhale down. And back to center and bring your knees into your chest. Stretching your lower back. And stretch the left leg out and keep your right knee in. So now we're stretching the left hip flexor. And then the right knee stretching in. And we're going to bring the right leg up, put the hands behind the knee, and flex your right foot. So we're going to press that heel up to the ceiling. Okay, so that's going to activate the hamstring. Pressing up. So as we're stretching the left hip flexor by just being straight, the leg straight, the abs drawn in, we're going to stretch through the back of the right leg by activating. Keep your knee in as close to your chest as you can. Push through the heel, exhaling up. The closer your knee is to your chest, the less your hip flexor on the right leg that's in your chest is going to activate. So it's good if you can get it in there close, pushing through that right heel. One more time. Then bring the right knee in towards the right shoulder. And you're going to feel the stretch on that right adductor and the left hip flexor. Take a deep breath. Then put the left hand onto the right knee and bring the right knee to the left side and the right arm is out to the side. So stretching the right knee across the body over to the left side. And then your right arm is extended out and your chest is opening. And you're opening through your thoracic spine on the right side. Your right hip, stretching, opening through the whole hip area. Take a deep breath. See how much release you can get by letting go through your breath, by exhaling into the release, by just allowing the release to happen. Sometimes it's hard to let go of the hips because it's where we hold a lot of baggage, and physical and emotional. It's hard to release that when you want to make sure everything's in place. So we're just really just trying to let go with your breath. And then bring the right knee back into the chest again. And then bring the left knee in and stretch the right leg out. So you're going to feel some stretch in the right hip flexor. And then you're going to stretch the left leg up and flex the left heel up to the ceiling, keeping your leg in as much as you can towards your chest, the left knee. And then we're going to press through the heel, exhaling up, activating the hamstring muscle in the back of the left leg as you're pressing the heel up towards the ceiling, keeping the foot flexed, keeping the abs in, keeping the shoulders down, keeping your neck relaxed, your jaw relaxed. Keep breathing as you're pressing your heel up. Exhale as that heel goes up. Allow the lengthening, the activation, I should say, of the back of the leg. Activating the long, tight hamstring muscles. Giving them some energy. One more time. And bring the left knee into the left shoulder. So now you feel more stretch on the inside of the left leg. And the adductor, especially at the top. Take a deep breath. Then the right hand's gonna bring the left knee to the right side as the left arm just extends out. And you can turn your head to the left. So that's just that nice knee crossover, stretching through the thoracic spine on the left side, drawing the abs in, letting the left shoulder relax down to the floor. The left knee will relax down and just no forcing. It's only about breathing. It's about breathing into this release and letting go so it can naturally stretch as it needs to and as you allow it to. So you're going to feel the pec, you're going to feel the chest, you feel the ribs, you feel the hip. You probably even feel like if you're really tight, all the way down that whole arm line, chest and the bicep and the forearm. Bring the left knee back into the chest and bring the right knee in. Cross your ankles and we'll just do some little rocks. And place the feet on the ground and bring your heels as close to your glutes as you can. If you can even hold on to your ankles, but if you can't, don't worry about it. And then squeeze your shoulder blades together. Then we're gonna exhale and we're gonna squeeze the glutes and the shoulder blades together up in a pelvic tilt. So pelvic tilt and squeeze up. Chin comes into the chest, so the back of the neck is long and your glutes are activated. And And your abs are connected. And the front of the legs are stretching. And your glutes are like squeezing tight. Like you got $1 million bill between your glute cheeks. Squeeze it. Don't let it go. And release down and bring your knees back into your chest. And put your arms out to the side, palms facing down. And we'll bring both knees to the left side. Then inhale up and exhale both knees over to the right side. Again, some thoracic spine mobility and gluteus medius stretch. This also really works the abs. So you're really drawing in as you control the movement with your abdominal muscles. And back, and hold on to your knees, and we're going to roll up and stretch forward, stretching through the hips. Taking a deep breath. Exhale into the stretch. And then sit up and put your other leg in front. And stretch forward. Opening through your hips. Feeling the release. Breathing into it. Good. And then come back to your hands and knees. And let's do some hip circles. Back and around. Making some circles with the hips. And the other way. Good. Now let's bring our right knee between our hands and tuck the right foot in and sit back into your right hip. So you're sitting to the side of the right heel. And keep your sternum up. Okay, and take a deep breath. Keep holding it there, opening through the right hip. And now stretch forward. Chest to the top of the right leg. Take a deep breath. Feel the opening to that whole right hip. Big exhales here. Really drawing those abs in as you exhale, like with some force, like you're blowing out a candle. Creating space, because when you exhale that breath out of your lower abdomen, that creates more space too, for you to come forward more, instead of bracing and holding your breath. Now let's sit up so that the right heel stays into the right, to the center, and your left leg is out to the side. Turn so you can see me. Okay, so you're like this. So now we're going to take the right hand behind the head and we're going to stretch over to the left side. Exhaling over. So this is a way to do it without like putting your shoulder in impingement. But if you, and then now let's go ahead and reach through it. If you want, you can go ahead and push the arm through, exhaling over. So then you're going to feel that stretch in the whole right side channel, your lat and your hip working together. Keep the chin tucked so the back of the neck is long. Exhaling over. Creating that space along the right side for movement. Now bring the right hand down. And we're going to push the left hip forward and the left hand back. So now we're stretching through the hip flexor on the left side and the psoas and the lat. Feeling that stretch, pushing the whole left side forward. And come back to the hands and knees. I'm going to bring the left knee forward and the left foot in. So I'm stretching back, keeping the chest up. The hip goes over to the left side of the heel. We're going to do the same thing again. We're on our other side. Feeling that stretch. I do. Bring your chest over the top of your leg. Feeling that opening to the left hip. Breathing into the stretch. The more you let go, the more you exhale, the more you release, the more that whole hip area can stretch and open and release tension. Okay, come on up. So the left foot stays in and the right leg is out. Put the left hand behind your head, stretching over to the right side. So now stretching through that left side channel. And if you want, you can push it through. Exhaling over. So you can feel that connection, right? All the way from the left hip through the lats. So you can see if your lats are tight and you're trying to move your hips more, it can restrict you. So you have to release your lats along with your hips if you have tightness in your hips. Or if you have tightness in your lats, you need to release your hips. Either way. They're connected. Activating that side channel. One more. Left hand down, press the right hip forward. Pressing, stretching that whole front line on the right side, the psoas, the hip flexor, TFL, the arm line. And release. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our band. I'm going to put it around our knees. All I can say about this class is time flies when you're having fun. Okay, so let's lie on our back. And we're going to do some bridges with the band. So this just adds a little bit more tension so you can remember to press against the band. Keep your toes forward. If you flex your toes up, you feel the bottom of the big toe on the ground. You want to keep your heels in as close to your glutes as you can so you activate the gluteus maximus and not the hamstring. We're going to keep the shoulders down and the sternum up, the abs engaged. So we're going to do a pelvic tilt to start, pressing out on the band, making sure you're not rolling out to the sides of your feet and squeezing up and rolling down. So you can come down, pelvic tilt, press out on the band, squeeze up and exhale and roll down. Pelvic tilt, squeeze out on the band, roll up, squeezing those glutes and down. We're just going to keep doing that. Pelvic tilt, press out on the band, squeeze up and exhale, inhaling down. making sure you're not rolling out onto the sides of your feet. This is a bridge, and this should always be done this way. Pelvic tilting first, and then coming up. And you can, so when you're squeezing the glutes, the hip flexors are stretching, and then you're rolling down out of it. Pelvic tilting, pressing out, squeezing up, and exhale, and rolling down. Pelvic tilt, squeezing up, exhale, and rolling down. Inhale down, exhale up. So it's a really good core move. You're working your abs, your glutes together. You're working on your pelvic tilt. You're working on alignment with your feet, heel, hip, shoulder connection. Pelvic tilt, press out on the band, squeeze up. Roll it down. Pelvic tilt, press out on the band, squeeze up, squeeze those glutes. Roll down. We'll do one more time, and this time we're going to hold it up. Pelvic tilt, press out on the band, hold it up. Just going to hold here for 30 seconds. So keep breathing. Really activating those glutes, really stretching through the hip flexor, really engaging in the core. Chin is tucked, back of the neck is long. Breathing for 10, 9, 8, hold it strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release down. Good job, and bring your knees into your chest. Nice work. Just do your little rocks, stretching through the lower back. Okay, let's roll over to the left side, and we'll work on a gluteus medius into a clamshell. So you're at a 60-degree angle. Here we're going to do another pelvic tilt. So as we pelvic tilt, we're squeezing the back glute. This is the side glute here. And exhale up. So you can see I'm kind of pushing my hip bone forward because I don't want to work this TFL. I want to work the gluteus medius. So it's about squeezing it up and not so much lifting the knee, but pelvic tilting. And as you're pelvic tilting from the glute, your knee just comes up. And that's a clamshell. And you exhale up. So the gluteus medius and the gluteus maximus are the most underactive muscles that always need to be strengthened with any imbalance that we have in our bodies, because they're the main movers. And when they're not moving, our body's compensating, and the synergists, which are the helper muscles, take over, and they're not supposed to be doing that big job. So then that's when the body can create too much stress and injury or pain. So we really want to keep those glutes activating and the abs connecting. One more. And we'll do our other side. So these are just foundation moves, and they're great to do every day. So we're doing them now because we just released the tension in the areas. Keep pelvic tilt, squeeze out left gluteus medius. Just want to make sure that stretching in the front and tightening in the back. That's why I'm doing this pelvic tilt. And then the pelvic tilt is what's drawing the knee up, because it's like your knee is a lever from your gluteus medius. So you press the hip bone forward. If you just went like this, you'd be working a lot in your hip flexor and TFL, which are already too tight. Exhale up. Squeeze that glute. Pelvic tilt. Squeeze it up. Think about the muscle you're working. Kind of hold at the top for a second. Draw in and squeeze. Don't be afraid to work that muscle. Pelvic tilt. Squeeze it up. And squeeze it up. And one more. And down. Nice work. Okay, let's go ahead and stand up with our band. And we're going to do some hinges. So it's going to activate the hamstring muscles. So hinging is an everyday move that we want to try and be able to do. And it means that the hinge comes from the hips, so the butt goes to the back, okay? So we're going to start, let's just start with the double leg hinge so you can just feel it. So if you push your butt to the back and then squeeze your glute up, keeping the knees slightly bent and not moving the knees after they go into that position. So we're not bending and squatting like this. We're just pushing the butt backwards, and you're going to feel this activation in the back of your legs. And then you're going to work your glutes. So you feel the activation, abs drawn in and then squeeze. Push back with a nice flat back is the other thing. So you don't want to be like this, okay? Because then your line of fascia is rounded. So we're going to keep the back flat and moving through the hinge at the hips. So if you were going to go down and pick something up, you'd be pushing to the back, abs drawn in, exhale, come up. So now let's try it with a single leg. The left foot forward. Both toes forward. You're going to feel the back of the front glute. This one, as you hinge. Then abs drawn, and then you squeeze the back glute. So you hinge, and then squeeze the back glute. If you put your hand right on your butt, on the front glute, you'll feel your butt kind of filling up your hand, and then you're going to squeeze the right glute, hinge, inhale, exhale, squeeze the back glute. So you should feel that hamstring muscle in the back of the left leg, and then you squeeze the right, if your left leg is forward. Inhale, push back, exhale, squeeze up. Inhale, push back, nice flat back, exhale, squeeze up. One more. And then we'll put the other leg forward. So toes are forward, hinging from the hips, push back into the front glute, and then squeeze up from the back. So as you're hinging, you're going to get at that right hamstring. The right leg is forward. As you come up, you're using your ab and your glute to come up. If you're picking something up, your abs are drawing to pick up and squeeze the back glute. So you hinge and squeeze. And everything should be like a hinge, like your daily movements or hinging movements. So you're coming from your core and you're using your glutes and your abs instead of stressing out your back and your joints. Inhale, exhale, squeeze it up. Inhale, exhale, I'm keeping that back nice and flat. We'll do 3 more. One more. And relax. Okay, have a seat down. Well, that was fun. So I know hinging can be confusing at first. Once you get it down, you don't forget it, and you really always move that way. The beginning can be a little bit confusing because, you know, trying to keep your back flat and your knees straight and moving from your hips, but you'll get it. So I hope everyone has a good day, and I will see you on Friday for upper body activation. And have a great day. Have a beautiful summer day. Thank you.
Bye, Leah.
Bye. Thank you.